is First Coast News, on your side.
A decision expected but not delivered. We'll explain the options on the table in the high-profile murder trial police call a murder-for-hire plot to kill a father of four. And just moments ago, President Biden speaking to the nation about protests that have swept through college campuses and the dozens of arrests made overnight. But first, a tip leads to a search warrant and multiple drug arrests. Sheriff D.K. Waters is set to speak at the Police Memorial Building here in downtown Jacksonville. He's at the podium right now. We're going to listen in for the very latest on this investigation.
So good afternoon. So today I'm proud to announce or highlight a citizen's complaint about drug activity in his neighborhood that led to a narcotics investigation and several arrests. To my left and to my right are JSO Chief Ed Cayenne and JSO Assistant Chief Eric Redgate and members of the District 4 Sheriff's Watch. And thank you all so much for being here today. It's really glad to have you. So a Sheriff's Watch member provided the information that ultimately led to JSO serving search warrants on 2 homes on Jacksonville's west side, specifically Malden Lane and Fire Tower Road. This concerned citizen brought narcotics activity to police attention during a February District 4 Sheriff's Watch meeting. And while I'm there, I would like to encourage everyone in every district to become and be members and be a part of our Sheriff's Watch meetings, which are very important, and that we can talk directly to one another. The Sheriff's Watch program is a program in which citizens and police partner together to address neighborhood concerns and neighborhood-specific public safety issues. Community members and police officers meet regularly in neighborhoods all over Jacksonville. After we received this tip, narcotics detectives started an undercover investigation. On April 19th, our tactical narcotics team served 2 residential search warrants and arrested the following: Thomas Sawyer, Ryan Whitman, Nino Jesus Perez, Kelly Wilson, Emily Kirksey, Zion, Carlos Garcia, and Autumn Spear. Inside that home, our detectives found several firearms and a large amount of various types of drugs. We received 6 firearms, and as you can see in these photographs, these firearms run the gamut of styles and sizes. JSO forensics experts discovered that one of the guns had been previously used in violent crimes. The 9mm Glock matched casings that were collected at a February attempted murder scene where someone was shot. It also matched a shooting that same month into a home where several adults and children were inside. And thankfully, fortunately, no one was hurt during that incident. Some of the narcotics seized were 994 grams of methamphetamine, 164 grams of fentanyl, 49 grams of cocaine, and 287 grams of marijuana. We discovered this home was not only being used to store drugs, but also being used for the manufacture and distribution of narcotics. Now, you hear arguments all the time that narcotics are only dangerous to those that use them and should not be a focus of law enforcement. Well, this operation alone proves that theory is not true. It's absolutely false. Where there are drugs, there are always crime guns. I haven't seen one yet where there weren't crime guns. Gun violence is woven into the fabric of the illegal narcotics trade, and this agency will continue to target and dismantle drug operations in Jacksonville. We do this not only to remove the poison that fuels addiction, but also to remove the accelerant which ignites gun violence in our community. And I want to thank the engaged Jacksonville citizens that spoke up at our Sheriff's Watch meeting. You are very much appreciated. I'm glad that the citizens' complaint spearheaded the outcomes that I'm sharing today. Communication between the public and the police is at the heart of community policing. We cannot, and I'll repeat it, we cannot do the important work that we do without the public's cooperation and their help and the public that we serve. The public relies on the police to solve crimes, and so the police also rely on the public to solve crime. Community policing, as you've heard me say previously, is not just about shaking hands. It's not just about walking neighborhoods, but it's about engaging the community to be a very important part of what it takes for us to be able to do what we do every single day, and that's solving crimes. So at this time, I'd like to open it up for questions. I'll answer whatever I can. Hey, Eric, go ahead.
The drugs you described don't originate in Jacksonville, so I'm just curious, have you guys been able to determine the origin of where these drugs came through, the pipeline in which they came through, and also how long has this been going on before it was brought to your attention?
Well, Don't know where it came from yet. Don't know that we'll ever find that out. We're always looking for sources, right? But sometimes it's difficult to tell. Apparently, it's been going on for quite a while. They told us about it, and this is why these are important. We get this kind of information on sheriff's walks. We get these at sheriff's watches, and it's direct communication. That's why I encourage people to be a part of it. Yes, sir.
Sheriff, it's one thing for one of your deputies and the officers to go above and beyond and try and find out people who are making drugs and selling drugs. But how proud are you of these citizens, people of Jacksonville, for stepping up and making sure that their community is safer by reporting these incidents?
Extremely proud. And Sheriff's Watch members, always very caring, they pay so much attention. They're always there for us. And we do this for them. We do this for us because this is also our community. So to have them come up and give us this information and actually be able to work this through and get them here today so that you can see, so people can see the amazing things they do for us, it's I can't put it into words.
The guns that were seized, have you guys been able to run any kind of ballistics on them to find out, or why? I know you said one was used in a crime, but have you been able to find out if any of those weapons were purchased legally or were they all reported stolen?
Don't know that yet, but we'll get that information eventually. Like I said, we were able to find out that some of them were used in previous crimes, and this is the importance of our NIBIN and our technology and our forensic technology.
Also on your the Sheriff's Watch, can you talk about how this should encourage others? Maybe they're not part of a Sheriff's Watch, but they know what's going on in their community, but they're too afraid to speak up and say something. Can you talk about how what they did should, I would assume, inspire others to speak up?
There's no bigger group or no better group in this city than law-abiding citizens and the police when they come together, because we outnumber the people that mean harm to this community, largely. So if you come, you're going to find out. You'll find out that you're a part or members of a group of people that actually want to have direct communication and talk about these issues. And listen, it's one thing to call or type in a complaint, which we take every one of them very seriously. But to be able to talk to the individuals that are seeing the issues every single day, that can give us more detailed information at those meetings, is extremely important.
When you get that detailed information, does that make your case easier?
You just heard Sheriff T.K. Waters there speaking to the importance of the community getting involved when it comes to solving crimes within our community. We share the number with you time and time again here on this news program for Crime Stoppers. The importance again of the community getting involved. It was an actual tip from community members there that actually led to that arrest, multiple arrests. When they went inside of that home on the west side, 2 different homes searched. They found multiple guns, we're told, as well as drugs. One of the guns found was actually linked to a murder here within our city. We'll have much more of this for you, of course, tonight at 5. And now to an update in the ongoing legal proceedings in the high-profile murder case against Jared Bright. This is of Jared Bright again. Now, we were supposed to learn if the state attorney's office, 4th Judicial Circuit, would be kicked off the trial here in Jacksonville, but no decision was made. The lead prosecutor was once again called to the stand. Mary Fernandez and Shanna Gardner face first-degree murder charges in what police have called a murder-for-hire plot to kill Gardner's ex-husband. Let's get right out to Katie Jeffrey. She's been following this case since the very beginning. She has the very latest from court this morning.
Thank you, Keitha. This all stems from what the defense says was misconduct with attorney-client privilege communications, and both defense teams say they want the state attorney's office, 4th Judicial Circuit, off of the case. Now, this issue has had the murder case at a virtual standstill for the last 6 months as it is being sorted out. And just as we were expecting a ruling from the judge today, instead, an email was introduced to the court, and the lead prosecutor, Christina Stifler, was called back to the stand. The email introduced was from June 30th of last year and from an ATF agent to Stifler, which she then forwarded to 2 other members of the state attorney's office. And attached to that email were 2 documents that Fernandez's attorney says are privileged, but the state disagrees and says they are not privileged. But Stifler has said that she nor any other members of the office read the attachment labeled confidential timeline. Now, Fernandez's defense attorney argued that there was no way for the court to determine if the state attorney's office did or did not read the documents, and that would give the appearance of impropriety and should lead to the disqualification of the state attorney's office. So now the judge will have to take this latest information under review, and she will issue her ruling on May 13th. But also during that May 13th hearing, we are expecting to hear arguments for whether or not Shanna Gardner will be able to receive a bond. That's something her defense team has inquired about numerous times during the hearings. As always, we'll keep you updated on this case. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.
And now to a deadly stabbing in Arlington this morning. We brought you this as breaking news on Good Morning Jacksonville. One man is dead. We know the stabbing happened at a home where there were children inside. Claire Alfrey is on your side with what we've learned.
JSO is trying to understand the events that led to an altercation that then led to a man in his 20s being stabbed to death here at the University Park Apartments right across the street from Jacksonville University. Now, crews have been here since 12:30 last night, and when they arrived to the apartment, they found 3 children in the home at the time. JSO says an altercation led to the man being stabbed in the chest with a knife, and with at least 5 people in the apartment during the stabbing, and even more coming throughout the night, one of those people called 911.
He was transported to Memorial Hospital by Jacksonville Fire Rescue and pronounced deceased.
JSO says they have detained several people, but have not made any arrests. They're asking the public if they have any information about what happened here at University Place Apartments to call Crime Stoppers. Reporting in Jacksonville, Claire Alfrey, First Coast News, on your side.
Let's check in now with meteorologist Robert Speta. Robert, we call Thursday, Friday Eve around here, meaning the weekend is almost here. Hopefully you have something pleasant in store.
Yeah, you know, it's not looking all too bad out there, Keith, as we go to have in the next few days. Now, we're kind of getting to that time of year where we have to deal with the sea breeze and isolated afternoon showers. And that is the case today, even heading over towards tomorrow, and especially on Saturday. And you can see this evolve, the daytime heating, get those clouds bubbling up here on our time lapse, and it's continuing to pop up. We go over to visible satellite imagery. This is really neat because see this line right here of clouds? That's that sea breeze setting up. So as we got through today, those winds are going to blow on shore, continue to build up, keep things cooler near the coast, but then it's going to heat up inland, and that's going to help evolve those isolated showers across our area. So taking a look at that forecast, getting up into the mid-80s through this afternoon, those clouds build in about 4 or 5 o'clock, and within that, you could be looking at those isolated showers. But I think for most of us, have the hat, have the t-shirt out there. It is another warm day on tap, but we can look at that future cast. This is 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Here's those isolated showers. Most of those are going to remain west of I-95 out towards Swanee Valley, Lake City area especially. But I'll talk more about, Friday and, of course, the weekend coming up in just a bit.
Thanks for that, Robert. Well, just ahead in our consumer headline, Starbucks' bottom line is feeling the pinch as more consumers are paying closer attention to their household budgets. Plus, the historic Canwright House in St. Augustine with ties to MLK moved from Crescent Beach to a park in West Augustine. We're going to go out to Tristan Hardy with more on what makes this moment so important just ahead right here on First Coast News at noon.